Hey everyone, Nick from Mossy Creek with this week's fly fishing forecast. Today is Monday, June 19th. It's the day after Father's Day. We got to spend the weekend with a lot of you in Richmond, so thank you to everyone who came out to Hardywood. We had an awesome day, rigging gear, casting, talking fishing, drinking a little bit of beer. We had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the truck. And we look forward to a lot of the other stops we have coming. Right now, we've got 2 dates on the calendar, so go ahead and mark those, especially the people who were coming to your town. The first one's going to be July 22nd. We're going to Parkway Brewing in Salem, so we'll be bringing the truck. For those of you who don't know a whole lot about it, we've got an entire mobile fly shop. We've got everything in there, spooling machines, lines, rod, reels. We do all kinds of casting demos, bring flies, you name it, with just about everything you need. It's a great day of, having some gear come to you if you don't want to travel, but also getting time to, spend time with our staff, do some casting, talk fishing, and obviously drink a little bit of beer. So we've been loving these. So guys in Salem, guys and gals, keep that on your calendar. We'd love to see you out there. And then a little bit later in the summer, we're going to be heading to Norfolk. We'll be at Elation Brewing. That's going to be August 13th. So put that one on your calendar. Be coming to the VB area, coming down to the beach and spending a day down there. So we look forward to those 2 dates. We've got a couple more in the works before the end of the year. So we'll keep you posted when we have those dates finalized. But those are the 2 already nailed down. We look forward to seeing you there. So let's talk fishing a little bit. Finally got a little bit of good news as far as the water goes. Looks like we're going to be getting a little bit of rain here over the next few days. We've got a couple systems moving in this afternoon that we're keeping an eye on. And it looks like really over the next 4 to 5 days, we actually have a pretty high chance at some substantial rainfall. We've sounded like a broken record the last few weeks. We've been really low, almost at like September low, especially in a lot of our brook trout streams and even out on the river. And so any rain's welcome, but it looks like we might actually get like a full-on summer reset to kind of get everything recharged. Looking like, heavy rain tonight. They're not showing a lot of totals because it really depends on, if we get some of these bigger systems. Next couple days looks like almost kind of a consistent like quarter to a half most days and evenings. So, honestly, a potential for maybe up to like 2 to 4 inches of rain. We'll keep things posted. With that big of, a range of water that we could get, we could be talking about just a recharge. We could be talking about some streams being blown out. So we're going to really try and do our best over the next few days to keep you posted, especially as certain streams hopefully get more water. If some of them are really high and muddy, any of that will keep you posted. If you don't use the USGS gauges, a lot of those are really good tools. Not every stream around here has them, but a lot do. For the South Fork of the Shenandoah close to us, the Linwood gauge is one that we watch. There's a gauge on North River, the Burketown gauge. Stokesville is a great one for upper North River. If you want to kind of see how some of those brook trout streams to the west of us are faring, you can keep an eye on that gauge. Smith Creek, New Market, there's a gauge there. So, start looking at that website, and they're really great if you haven't used them. Not only do they give us how much water we have in the stream, but you'll see a chart that kind of shows average flow and where we've been. So even if you look at a gauge and you don't quite know what 300 CFS means for a river yet, you can look at different triangles and stuff that show you what average flow is, and you can really get an idea for where the stream should be. If you look at it and see this giant spike and all of a sudden it's quadrupled in the height that it's been for the last week, there's your sign that maybe it's blown out or we got some higher water. Like I said, we're going to try and help you pick through that, but start using those gauges if you don't. They're a real big help in live time, and so you can have a big storm at night, wake up in the morning, check the gauge, and get an idea for what's happening. So the brook trout streams have been really low. Most of them, I would say, almost unfishable, but this, if we get this rain, like take advantage of this brook trout fishing because it could be really good over the next few weeks. Still got a lot of yellow sallies, some other bugs out, but really transitioning into a lot of our terrestrials, so little beetles, little ants, dry droppers, kind of typical game up there. Spring treaks have been fishing really well. Mossy and beaver have been kind of our 2 best that hold water when we're low like this, but a lot of other stuff should be online as well. Terrestrial fishing once again has been good. Still have some drakes and some different mayflies hanging around, but we're really at that period of the summer where we transition mainly to terrestrials. So trichos in the morning, beetles and ants. I know Brian talked a lot about the tricho fishing last week. A lot of times fish that's eating trichos, you can trick them with a beetle or an ant too. So make sure you have those. And you're starting to see some hoppers, and that hopper dropper fishing is getting really good. Personally, this time of year, I rarely ever fish an indicator unless I'm somewhere where like I really need to adjust depth often. A hopper with a nymph dropped off of it is one of the best things. And I mean, you'll be surprised. Lately, almost half the fish we've caught have just come up and eaten the hopper out of nowhere. And so having that opportunity, especially this time of year where fish are keyed in on a big terrestrial plopping on the surface, can be very effective to take advantage of that. The river's been fishing great. It has been really low and clear, pretty spooky. Long casts have been important. Shade's been important on those hot days. So a little bit of water is going to be pretty welcomed. For those of you who've been floating, you'll notice that if we can get a little more water, it's going to be easier to get down the river. So keep an eye on those gauges. We'll keep you posted. But a good reset would be awesome and really take us into the summer. Topwater fishing's been great. Bait fish and crayfish and clawdads and stuff like that, especially in deeper water, are always a good option. If we get a little bit higher water, dark kind of stained water, a black and blue clawdad, a black crittermite, some bigger profile streamers can be really good in that water. So we're really looking forward to that. So put some of those truck stops in your schedule if you're going to be around the rest of the summer. We'll keep you posted daily on like actual rain. If Mossy gets blown out, if we hear some stuff like that, we'll keep you posted. But looking good, at least for the next few weeks, if we can get all this. Last thing I want to mention, we've talked about it a little bit. Mossy Creek's undergoing a restoration right now. They have been rechannelizing the river. I don't know if this rain is going to change the original plan. It very well could. But as of a few days ago, I believe that they're trying to put water into the new channel tomorrow. So Tuesday and Wednesday, if that stays the same, even aside from rain, you can probably expect a little bit of turbidity, at least for a week or so, as some of that new ground is going to get flooded with water and kind of redoing that. So we're real excited about that, but do keep a thought about those conditions. Anyway, we'll see you next week. If you got any questions, as always, give us a call.